The CREATE model was developed by Dr. Kadhir Rajagopal to successfully unlock the potential of urban students. Dr. Rajagopal has been an educator since 2004 and is an algebra teacher at an urban high school in Sacramento, California called Grant Union High School. He also serves as an instructional coach for teachers in the Twin Rivers Unified School District. In 2011, he won the California Teacher of the Year award. He has presented his model at several conferences, including the 2009 National Council of Teachers of Mathematics in Washington, D.C. So, what is the CREATE model? The C stands for culturally responsive instruction, R is for rigorous expectations and rewards, E is for essentials focused planning, A is for assessing for mastery during class, T stands for test models, and E is for extra one-on-one. Who is best served by the CREATE model? Dr. Rajagopal developed this model to unlock the potential of the underserved, typically African American and Latino students who typically fly under the radar, struggle, and/or act out in class. Often these are urban students. They need more specialized and focused instruction because they have more life stressors like poverty, single-parent homes, violence, teen pregnancy, drugs, gangs, language barriers, and rundown neighborhoods. These stressors lead them to a survival mode mentality where they are just trying to get through the day with self-preserving behaviors, like exerting dominance over others and selling drugs for money. This leaves no room for big dreams of success in school or career. Education and future success are reserved for the white or the wealthy in their minds. Many times there are complicated family dynamics, and parents are not always there supporting positive influences in their children's lives. Sometimes these students come from immigrant families where English is not the primary language, leading to even more complex challenges in education. Dr. Rajagopal has found this model to be highly successful in closing the achievement gaps in terms of race and poverty, although the concepts are useful in any classroom. In 2009, his urban students outperformed the state average for the California Standards Test for algebra and outscored the state averages for Caucasian and high-income students. Additionally, the model holds teachers accountable for their students' successes and failures. Many teachers may say they cannot help their students because they have too many obstacles, like no parental support. Dr. Rajagopal has proven that achievement is possible in spite of these challenges if teachers commit to setting high standards and bagging the excuses. The first piece of the CREATE model is to provide culturally responsive instruction. It is important for teachers to teach to the collective culture of the class. It is impossible to teach specifically to each and every culture in a classroom, and it is more important to address the collective culture. Students tend to share a culture that is more in tune with their age, interests, music, and social media use. So the author recommends learning as much as you can about your students, especially the challenging ones. What do they like? What is life like at home? What do they do outside of school? After collecting this information, you can then use creative and relevant methods to teach the curriculum. Incorporating music and social media, for example, can engage students and keep them interested in the lesson. Make lessons interactive where students are moving around the classroom, or take your lesson outside or go on a field trip. Next concept in the CREATE model is that of the rigorous expectations and rewards. Teachers should set high expectations for themselves and their students and hold everyone, including themselves, accountable for their students' failures. It is important to clearly convey these goals to your students. Using a reward system can be extremely beneficial if done appropriately. The rewards should be frequent, public, personal, and sometimes even tangible. Dr. Rajagopal uses a bonus point system where students can see the immediate effects of their hard work, as well as the immediate loss of points for poor effort. Penalties should definitely be enforced. Follow through is extremely important in building trusting relationships with students and to make reward systems effective. The purpose of essentials focused planning is to teach to mastery. Focus on the essential concepts students must learn and teach it to mastery instead of trying to teach everything. Creating a flexible planning guide is key because it allows teachers to change the timeline according to how quickly or slowly students are progressing. Since most skills, especially in math, build upon each other, it may be necessary to revisit skills that were not previously mastered. Incorporating these prerequisite skills into current lessons is the best way to handle this. Continual assessment throughout a class gives immediate feedback to the teacher if their methods are effective. Assessing at the end potentially wastes valuable time. Lesson scaffolding, OTIS, and maintaining student accountability are three components of assessment. Lesson scaffolding has three steps. First is to assess what the students already know. Second is to take new concepts and break them up into easy steps. Focus on the critical foundational skills. Lastly, use a step-by-step approach to reach your goals. OTIS is an instructional plan developed by Dr. Rajagopal for teaching a lesson to mastery. The O in OTIS stands for objective. A lesson's objective should be able to be mastered on one lesson and should not be too broad. Instead of saying students should master the quadratic formula, a more reasonable objective should be to master one portion of it. The T stands for teach back. If teachers teach in a way that is easy for their group to understand, then students should be able to teach it back to you. You can only fully master a topic if you are able to teach it to someone else. The I stands for independent exit price, which is a sort of test at the end of the class period that shows you whether or not the students understand the material. It should be a series of questions that students need to answer correctly before moving on and should be graded on the spot. If a student fails the exit price, then there needs to be a consequence like staying after school or missing a practice to correctly complete it. The S stands for spiral, reteach missed concepts. If one or two students fail the exit price, then those students should have a consequence. However, if many or all of the students fail, then it is important for the teacher to hold themselves accountable and re-examine their methods. The next day, the lesson should be retaught using a new method before moving on to the next concept. That day's exit price should include today's and yesterday's material. To help students retain information, questions from previous lessons should be incorporated into the daily exit price. The author recommends a 60-40 approach, where 60% of material in the daily lesson is new and 40% revisits older material. The next concept in the CREATE model is the test models concept, which recommends that teachers prepare their students for standardized testing by teaching test-taking strategies and presenting test question examples. Standardized testing is here to stay, at least for now, so teachers will be doing their students a disservice by not teaching them how to be successful in taking them. For example, the SAT and ACT are highly impactful when it comes to the college admissions process, so it is very worthwhile to prepare students, especially non-white students, because most standardized tests have been found to be biased toward Caucasian success. Standardized tests have a questioning style that can be taught through direct instruction and lots of practice. Sample questions are released prior to testing, so incorporating these into exit prices will get students comfortable with the questioning format. The last piece of the CREATE model is the extra one-on-one tutoring that some of the students struggling the most may need. This extra help may come in several forms. The first is the author's recommendation to continually circulate around the room and help students on the spot while they are doing their exit price. Another useful type of extra help is the use of superstar tutors. Superstar tutors are students in the class that have a solid understanding of the classwork and are mature enough to assist other students in a respectful way that allows the struggling student to complete the work him or herself with assistance. This type of tutoring does several things: assist the teacher in reaching all of the struggling students, gives struggling students the extra help they need, builds confidence and understanding of material for the superstar tutors, and builds a classroom environment of friendship and collaboration. Some students may still need more, and the teacher may need to give extra help outside of classroom hours. In conclusion, the CREATE model is a comprehensive and successful guide for teaching all students, but especially urban students. Without administrative support, it may be difficult to achieve success in an urban setting. Administrators and teachers need to work together to create an environment of high expectations and consistent educational and behavioral consequences. Behavioral expectations and a plan for handling truancy should be in place and enforced. Achievement should be glamorized and rewarded to create a positive atmosphere. Thank you so much for watching.